Champlin Ice Forums for Northwest Suburban Conference boys hockey tonight as the Osseo Orioles making the short journey here to Champlin to take on the Champlin Park Rebels. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, some signs of life lately here for Osseo. They've now picked up 4 wins on the season, got their first conference win over Coon Rapids last week, and playing some decent hockey. I mean, obviously they're not where they once were as a program, but they started to really bounce back a little bit and do some good things.
Well, they were 1-7 in their first 8 games. They're 3-5 in their most recent 8 games. Okay, so they're getting better, starting to put the puck in the net. And they had a good holiday tournament. They won 2 out of 3 games up north in Warroad and built a lot of confidence with them. Again, they're starting to put the puck in the net. Now, what they have to avoid is giving up a 2 or 3 goal, lead, or having if that scored on them real quick, that'll take them out real fast.
For Champlin Park, they've had a solid season, no doubt about it. A very nice win over a good Duluth Marshall club over the weekend, and they are still in contention for the West Division title. They'll need a little help right now. They're in 3rd place, but they're still in the mix with Irondale and Armstrong Cooper.
They really are, and even with a surprising Irondale team standing atop, but they've had a good year. They got a good balanced team, but they're bolstered by their goaltender, Boynton, who's, if you're solid in the pipes and out and play good disciplined hockey, you're going to win hockey games. This team is a team built for section and tournament hockey, and they could make a run here at the end of the year. Depending on how they end, they could get some momentum, and this section's wide open. I like the Rebels to be that team that might be the upset.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game, starting with the visiting Orioles. And they've got a couple of forwards that they've ended up now splitting up to kind of balance the lines out. Mitch Myers had a pretty good year for Osseo.
Yeah, he came through last year, leading scorer. He stepped up to play, and good offensive player. But what you're really going to notice about Mitch, he's a pest. He's a pest in the attack zone and in the neutral zone. He'll go after people. He gets a stick in the way, throws his body around. And, of course, he's got 3 power play goals, so he can put the puck in the net. So it'll be fun watching him tonight.
And for Champlin Park, one of their captains who's had a solid year for them is Brady Swanstrom.
Yeah, last year, again, for him was a breakout year. He started really surging. He's got 15 points, power play goal, but he's a leader, and he plays a good, disciplined, 2-way game. He's as good in the defensive zone as he is in the offensive zone. So we'll see what he can do tonight to lead the Rebels.
Over at Dick Brow Arena earlier this season, it was 4-2 Champlin Park. So a lot of reason to expect that this has a chance to be a pretty good game. I think it's not a stretch to say Champlin Park's the favorite, but as Pat and Austin, their coach, said, if we don't play tonight, Osseo is capable of beating us.
Well, we're finding out that there is an Osseo team that can really play here, and it's been showing itself. This might be the night, and Coach Janosin said point blank that if we don't play well against Osseo, they absolutely could beat us. If they get some goaltending, the Osseo, it could make it a little tough on the Rebels, but it should be a good game tonight.
All right, Osseo and Champlin Park will drop the puck for the opening face-off in just a moment here on CCX Sports.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent, thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
And welcome back here to the Ice Forum. Pretty good crowd on hand to watch this one, and the Champlin Park band here as well as the Orioles and Rebels get set to drop the puck here. And obviously, pretty good rivalry. I mean, and they're not in the same school district, so everybody always thinks first about, Osseo, Maple Grove or Champlin Park, Anoka, and whatever. But obviously, there's not much distance, and basically the attendance areas for these two schools border each other too. So, and I know a lot of the Osseo kids, skate at the ice forum in the summer and things like that too. So, there's definitely it's definitely a rivalry, and it's definitely a lot of guys that know each other on each team as well.
Well, they've been playing each other since they were kids. I mean, even though they're in two different districts, Champlin Park and North Metro, Osseo, Maple Grove always get together as you. So that's been built up since they were kids. And as you're noting in one of the player directories here at the Vice Forum, one of the kids on the Champlin Park, he says, what's one of your favorite moments in hockey? Beating Osseo every year. So it's important to these guys to beat each other. And when my son was playing, it was the same thing. They hated to lose to Champlin Park. Oh my gosh.
It's also a game that, both teams figure to have a chance coming in, too. I mean, let's face it, some of the other teams on their schedule, you might say, well, maybe we're not going to have the best opportunity in the world to pull out a win. There's Ben Kleineshay, who's going to get the start in net tonight for Osseo. And the Rebels are going with Brennan Boynton. So we're going to take one more time out here and step aside as these teams get set for the opening face-off tonight. It is the Orioles and the Rebels, and it comes your way next here on CCX Sports.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed.
I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it.
I just want my family to be safe.
But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And welcome back here to the Ice Forum in Champlin as the Orioles and Rebels getting set to face off. Champlin Park won the JV game by a score of 3-1 here this evening. And Osseo gathered around their goaltender, Ben Kleinashay. They've actually split time, relatively equally, both with Ben not having played quite as much as Cooper Olson, but he has have played a fair amount for the Orioles. And there's a look at Brennan Boynton. Really nice numbers. He's played most of their games, 7-4-2, 1.79 goals against, and a .937 save percentage for Brennan. So definitely a guy that gives them an opportunity, and we saw that in the Duluth-Marshall game. They gave up, I believe it was about 45 shots on goal, but ended up with a 3-1 victory. So that was a nice win for them. They also, right before that, ended up as a tie against Armstrong Cooper, but the Rebels were down 2 with about 6 minutes to go and scored twice. I mean, those are the kind of comebacks you really remember. There's a look at Mark Fino on the left there and Kevin Willey on the right, the co-head coaches for Osseo, and both former Osseo players as well.
Keeping it in the family, boy.
And there's Pat Janostin, really now in his second stint as Rebels coach, and we've added up the 2 stints to be 14 seasons now, as he stepped away for a while and then came back and took over their program once again. So we get set to face it off here. It will be Jack Kargas for Champlin Park facing off against the freshman Cade Westman for Osseo. And we are underway as the puck sticks right in the circle here to get things started, and the Orioles get control. Dump it in, but then right back out it comes, and here come the Rebels quickly on the counter, and a quick shot. Wow, Champlin Park getting an opportunity early. Now the puck down low. Another try here. Kleinashay shuts the door on the opportunity from Swanstrom. Nothing you'd love more than to get a goal on that first shift of the night, and it almost happened there.
No, this is a big line for Champlin with Swanstrom on it. They can come back at you any time, and tested Kleinashay just right off the bat. He made 2 big saves for him, for the Orioles.
Icing call here, and we'll bring it back into the Champlin Park end for face-off coming up. Osseo, of course, plays on the in the much smaller arena, both ice size-wise and just the arena in general. And this is the Olympic size sheet at Champlin Park, so that part's definitely an adjustment. Although there are a few, remaining Olympic rinks in the Northwest Suburban, so it's not like this is the only time they'll do that all year or anything either. Derek Roberts took a check there. We mentioned the rivalry part of things too, and there's another big hit, and you have to, that's the one thing. Here's a chance for 2-on-1 now for Osseo going right in. And Boynton closes the door there on the chance by Ty Hill. And to say you have to, you temper, you want to take the body, you want to make the big hit, but not take penalties. And boy, they just left Boynton to take the shooter right there as his defenseman Sam Lee played the pass and said, all right, Brennan, you got him, and he was able to stop Ty Hill.
Yeah, almost got a little too late before Lee committed to letting his goalie know that he was going to be on the shooter, but good save by Boynton there. Good opportunity for the Orioles, though, here. They'll get a quick transition. Got an opportunity to get right back in Champlin's face.
Ty Hill, the leading scorer point-wise for them, and we talked about in the pregame, Meyer, their leading goal scorer with 9 goals for Osseo. Tipped ahead and then thrown on in for the Rebels by Cole Julian. Champlin Park trying to get it set up in the offensive zone. Taking a check there, though, and going down was Jacob High. Back out to neutral it comes. Rebels trying to get their rush going again. And a nice save there by Kleinische as Rylan Anderson was in there really by himself for Champlin Park, but he did a smart thing. Got a good low, hard shot on net and was able to squeeze it. Ben this year 2-5, a 3.87 goals against and 879 save percentage. And as you mentioned in the pregame, Dan, we were talking with Mark Fino before the game, and he said, one of the issues for Osseo has been sometimes when one goal goes in, it becomes 2 and then 3. They've had times where he said, I don't know if we're hanging our head or just the concentration lapse or whatever, but that's one thing we just really can't afford, is that if somebody scores on you, you gotta pick it up right away. You can't let it get to you and become 2 goals or 3 goals.
Each of you got to relax and depend on each other and catch each other's back, and they tend to tighten up a little bit once one gets scored on them, and they can prevent that. When they don't do that, this is what's happened. They've gotten better and they're starting to win some games.
Opportunity here. Here comes Westman, the young forward for the Orioles. Drop pass there, though, is picked off in Champlin Park. Trying to counter, coming up the left side is Swanstrom. Pass across, and then they try to return it out front, cutting to the net there. I believe it was Ellingson that was intended for.
Good sharp play there, almost got it through the back door on that. Osseo's D kind of caught a little off guard by that play.
Back out to the point. Here's a long shot there, and Kleinische will grab that one and hang on for Osseo. Champlin Park, a little more overall speed, I think, than Osseo. I don't think we're going out on a limb saying that. They've been pretty quick getting the puck into transition areas too, and getting an opportunity or two in the early going.
Well, as Coach Janossen said, part of their game is that quick transition. They want to try create odd-man rushes. Their puck movement's been very good. It's been nice, short, 5-10-foot passes, and they've made it work.
Kleinische made the stop, and then it popped up in the air, and he tried to swat it to the corner with his stick. He missed, but no harm done. Boynton comes out to play this one for the Rebels. And the pass down low was intercepted. A check thrown there by Nate Musial, but not able to free it up, and the Rebels work it out up the left side. A lot of traffic, though, there. Back into the Champlin Park zone it comes. Thrown back to center and then chopped right back in for Osseo by Kyle Consola. The Orioles finishing a change. Pass picked off at center and thrown back in by Jackson Dwyer for the Orioles, as now they do complete that line change. And an opportunity as it comes right out front. First shot denied, then the pass was intercepted. As going down there was Micah Beisner for Osseo. Now he gets up and gains possession, takes a check, but gets the puck down to the corner. Orioles looking to set it up as they work off the wall. Here's a chance. They're trying to go short side with it. And now intercepted, and the rush coming back the other way. Nice step in to throw a check there by under Acri there for Osseo.
This game's been really physical, and when you consider the fact we're playing on an Olympic-sized rink, getting to that body and his ankles, There's not a lot of space for these forwards, for these players to move in.
And it was a good job by Ockery to wait just that extra step. If he had hit him right away, it might have been an interference. Here's a chance out front. And the puck popping free. A drive from the point is blocked. And looks like Tim Lavin is all right as he went down to make that block for Osseo. And it hit him hard and carried him high up into the stands.
Yeah, one thing that Coach Janasson said, here's an example. He said, Osseo is a hard-nosed team. And doing things like blocking shots, getting on the body, being passed, you're going to see all that, playing with a chip on your shoulder. And it's kind of a gritty team, and a blue-collar team.
Rebels getting it set up. Swing it side to side. Long shot is wide, and then a big carom off the end boards as Kleinachet was trying to scramble back into position, but nobody could get to it for Champlin Park. Back into the Rebels zone it comes. Pass. Ooh, and Boynton had to knock that one aside as the little flip pass from Meyer nearly got to the scoring area out front. And then a nice interception as well, coming back hard for Champlin Park here is Jack Kargas, and he scores. Makes the defensive play at one end and then finishes the rush as Kargas carried it right up the middle. And it was kind of one of those things where, well, if nobody stops me, I'm just going to keep going right to the net. He was able to make the nice little move around the defenseman and pops it over Kleinachet's shoulder.
Right here, the move was made, and he got the D flat-footed, got inside, just popped it into the upper right-hand corner. And like you said, Jay, the thing I like about that play, that's the second good defensive play he made from the middle. He knew his position in the defensive zone. He stopped. That's the second Osseo rush he stopped, and this time he took it home and hit the home run.
His 8th goal of the season, presumably unassisted, because I think it was directly from his interception that led to that rush. And so the Rebels will strike first here against Osseo. It is indeed an unassisted goal at 5:26 of the first, so Kargas making the play. And I know, Dan, as a coach, it makes you feel good when a guy gets rewarded for playing, you know, the other end of the rink too. It isn't all about goal scoring. He made a nice play on the back check there and really got himself in good position to get that rush going.
Well, it's so important that the players saw the result of how good defensive work results in good offensive work, and you know, trying to teach the kids to play a two-way game. You know, it's just not offense. You got to play. You got to take your defensive responsibilities, you know, seriously too.
And I like the little move he made on the defenseman, but then he got his shoulders turned right back to the net. Sometimes guys, you know, have a tendency to go real wide on a play like that, whereas he, you know, took kind of the most direct route to the net once he beat the D.
Well, he got it in tight. He reduced the spacing, and then that puts it in his advantage. All he did is a good move coming inside, and then defense just couldn't have the footwork to get back to him.
Champlin Park getting it set up in the offensive zone again. Long one thrown wide of the net there by Brett Ingram. Check that. It was High on the shot there. Jacob High now coming back to the point again. High will stop it. Throws it around behind. Cole Julian had it, lost it there as Kinsella comes up with it, but Osseo unable to get the puck out. And now they will on the next opportunity as Cooper Goodman carrying it. He's all alone though, and his shot mostly snuffed out there by Derek Roberts.
I think Osseo definitely got away with a hooking on the defensive boards there, but no call, and they got the puck out, got a chance for line change, which they desperately needed.
Yeah, at least in the early going, it's kind of looks like they're letting him play. We've, knock on wood, but not at a penalty yet, and it doesn't mean it hasn't been a physical game, because it has. Carried hard here by Roberts, and he'll throw it into the corner and head off on a change. And the puck lost as Julian picking it up, throws it out into the high slot. Now over Ryland's shooting. And that one deflects up and out of play as Kleinachet was looking all around to see where that one went.
Oh my God, where'd it go, where'd it go? That's the time when it gets stuck in your pads and you don't know where it is and you shake it loose. But nice play here. Got a good shot through a lot of people.
Caught some crossbar there.
Yeah, it did. Well, so far, Champlin Park has done a nice job of moving the puck around, especially in the offensive zone. If forecheck is steady, they get the puck into the open area and they find the open guy.
Orioles control the draw here. Dylan McKenzie ringing it around. Tip but not out. Champlin Park's done a nice job of pinching things off along those boards. You know, they obviously in an Olympic rink, it's some ground to cover, but they're used to it and they're getting to the right spots. Ooh, and a heavy check thrown there by Max Shellum for the Rebels. Battle behind the net. Puck freed up with that check, and Champlin Park comes up with it. Rylan Anderson back out to the point. Long one thrown in on net, and Kleinische able to squeeze it and hang on right on that Orioles logo.
Boy, nice quick release and got a flutter puck going off. And boy, sometimes Kleinische did a nice job getting his body in front of it, because how many of you seen slip under that arm every once in a while and go into the net?
Kargas facing off against Ty Hill here. 1-0 Champlin Park, our score. About 8.5 minutes to go here in this first period from the ice forum in Champlin. And that puck popped out of play there as Cody Fischbach tried to bank it off the wall and into the Champlin Park zone. So we'll get a face-off back just outside the Osseo blue line.
Osseo's kind of split up their two top scorers in Ty Hill and Mitch Meyer, and trying to get some even balance on two lines, and they've been pretty happy with the results so far since the Christmas tournament, but we'll see how that works out tonight.
Swanstrom swooping in, trying to pick it up there for Champlin Park. They go D to D. It misfired a little bit, but then the shot banking hard off by High. Back out to the point they'll come. High sending it in behind. Reaching for it is Fischbach. They've been able to bottle Osseo up in their end a fair amount of the time in this first period. But here comes Ty Hill leading the rush. Nice little drop pass. First shot fanned on, and then Boynton makes the stop on the second opportunity for Nate Musial. In a strange way, it almost made it a more tricky shot by the fact that he missed the first one.
Kind of fluttered it there with the stick in the way, and oh, you gonna get a penalty here? No, I don't think so. But good shot by Nate Musial, but Boynton, boy, I tell you what, you see how he was just outside the crease there? He took that angle down, didn't really give him much to shoot at.
Nice job to keep that one in by Acri there for Osseo, and then it is tipped just wide of the net. Drew Amsler leading the rush for Champlin Park. And again, the Rebels able to get there first. Chop back down low now to Aiden Grant. Reverses it back over to Amsler. They work it D to D. There's a shot. That one made it through. Kleinische having to make a stop. Orioles able to get it out, but this will be an icing call. It looks like if it keeps on rolling, it does, as Blake Redding just had to relieve the pressure and get it on out of there. We'll come back into the Osseo zone here. 7 minutes to play in this first period, and a 1-0 lead for Champlin Park on a goal by Jack Kargas for the Rebels.
You know, one of the big differences here in the game, Jay, is that Champlin Park in the attack zone's got their feet moving. They get the puck in front of the guy who's already got his skates moving, forcing Osseo to change direction a lot, and they're just a step behind. They're not winning many battles for the puck.
That shot went off a skate and now knocked free. Meyer coming up with it here, 2-on-2 rush. Meyer throwing it to the front. It went off a skate, and then a follow-up try. Puck still loose. Turnaround try. Boynton a stick save. Thrown to the front again there, but it deflects away. Osseo getting an opportunity there on the follow-up to the rush, really. Oh, and then a crushing check thrown by Sam Lee. And we will get a whistle here, but a clean crushing check, it looked like. Here's a look at this Osseo opportunity. Pretty good job defensively right there, but then the follow-up, that was the more dangerous one, and then they get another crack at it here, and Boynton having to stand his ground.
He just does a nice job of moving very calmly, slowly across the front of the net, staying with the puck, changes directions, he's there. But that Champlin D, especially in front of the net, is nasty. They're putting bodies down real fast. We've seen about 4 of them get knocked down, and a lot of the replays and stuff too. The Orioles are getting bounced in front of that Champlin net.
Zach Brash sending it ahead, glove down and control. Rebels able to get the puck out to center, and a nice move. Here comes Kargas. Drops that pass off. Swanstrom a shot just off the blocker of Kleinashe. Back down low with it. They'll bank it around. Swanstrom trying to get free to get to it. Brash got the pass ahead and now flick to center and an opportunity for 2-on-1. Jackson Dwyer had to chase it down, puts it out front. Oh, and Boynton, a nice save on the tip by Ty Hill. Looked like maybe their time had run out to make a play there, but not quite, as they threw it on to the front, and Hill got a tip on that puck, and Boynton having to make a nice stop.
That's a good Osseo line with Hill and Musial on the same line, and they've generated a couple opportunities here in this first period.
Didn't get the puck out there. Brett Sullivan coming in to play it here for Champlin Park. And a check thrown, freed it up briefly. Orioles pop it to center. And now Consola brings it in, throws it wide of the net. Sullivan lofting it ahead. First back to it is Kyle Consola for Osseo. And the Orioles will regroup and play it here as Fischbach circling back as he's being chased there by Peyton Oy. Played down deep by Adam Brenny for Champlin Park. It comes all the way around. Looking for Oy. And now the Orioles gain control, lofted to center. Boy, nice. Slipping there briefly was Brenny. It looked like it might be trouble, but he still made the play. And now lofted in by Micah Beisner for Osseo. 4 minutes to go now in the first period. 1-0 Champlin Park on an unassisted goal by Jack Kargas. Here come the Rebels on the rush here. Derek Roberts, and now we're going to have our first penalty of the game coming up against Osseo as it is touched up, and we will get a hooking call. They've pretty much been letting him play here tonight, but that time a little too much stick work, and the penalty is going to be issued to Osseo's Ockery.
His stick got up high too, and I think that was part of it along with pulling on it, but we get a chance to see Champlin Park's power play. They were running about 20%, pretty good numbers, 6 goals and 30 power play attempts.
Shot out high, and that one knocked away. Coach Austin was talking about it. His team hasn't gotten that many power plays this year compared to a lot of teams in the conference, and now we get a whistle here. And we're going to get an interference call coming up against Champlin Park to even it up as Sam Schuster is going to go. So much for that power play. They got a whole 11 seconds out of it before a penalty call against Schuster.
Well, this will be interesting now. We're going to have 4-on-4 on an Olympic-sized sheet of ice. This will be interesting. Some opportunity for these players to move with Champlin's speed. I think that would be almost an advantage for them.
Pops up in the air here. Orioles quickly turn it back. Meyer now shooting. Ooh, and that one was a bit of a rocket there, and Boynton able to make a glove save on that one. It seemed to give him a little bit of trouble, but he still makes the stop.
Mitchell Meyer did that upper corner written all over it. Well, maybe not. Looks like Gary's going to go over the net.
Meyer being pinned to the wall here, trying to kick it out of there and get some offense generated there for Osseo. Battle for the puck, and Shellum able to win it. Opportunity here on the rush for Champlin Park. Flipped out front, but they misfired trying to get it to Swanstrom there. Will Ellingson carrying it. Back to the point. Here's a shot. That was tipped. Kleinenschei the save. A battle for it in front. A penalty coming up as Swanstrom really got aggressive and brought the stick down. And then we'll see if there'll be anything further to come out of that. My guess would be that I thought initially Swanstrom was going to be the guy getting the penalty here. And he's complaining. I think he is going to get it. He definitely brought a cross check down across an Orioles back for sure. There might have been some retaliation late, but watch right there as he comes down with it.
Nope. I'm sorry, Braden. I didn't see it. You got that cross check going on. So Osseo's going to go on the power play here. What do we got? We got a minute, 54 seconds left on the Osseo penalty.
So 4-on-3 as the large ice sheet gets even more ground to cover for these guys at Champlin Park right now. 3 skaters out. 2:40 to go here in this first period. And now a 4-on-3 advantage for Osseo.
And they're going to have a 5-on-3 advantage here in 54 seconds. So
going to call it a roughing minor against Swanstrom. Here's a shot sailing high from Zach Brash. Orioles able to keep it in though. Fischbach floating it to the high slot and then dumped over looking for Brash. Brash going to the net. Oh, Boynton a save, and then there was some room on that short side as he came off the post briefly, but they were able to get back over and scramble and cover. Here's another chance. Walking in, shot, and a goal. Zach Brash. Boy, the D just really backed off. You only got 3 defensemen out, or 3 defenders out there, and they just let him come in and pretty much go where he wanted to go there, and he's able to bury it. So we're tied up at 1. A power play goal here for the senior defenseman, Zach Brash.
Still with the right side upper corner. Nice job here. Comes in and he finally gets it. That's about his 3rd shot in there, and he finally found the hole that he needed and put it away. And I think they'll get 1 back now.
2nd goal of the year for Brash.
So we're back to 4-on-4 again for 11 seconds. And then Osseo will go back on the power play for
a little over a minute.
6. Yeah, minute 6. I think that's been one of the differences this year, Jay. They haven't had a good power play, and they get a power play goal now and start to get that thing generated. Make them dangerous.
So the penalty to Osseo is over now as Zachary comes out of the box. So they are back on the power play, but it's the Rebels getting the first opportunity there. Derek Roberts' shot denied. And a physical check thrown by Aiden Grant.
No.
I'm seeing Westman and Fischbach on the assist for Brash's goal. And they still haven't put a goal up on the scoreboard here.
They might be waiting here on the home crowd just to be told to put it up there by a ref.
Puck stays at the blue line there, thrown back in. And the Rebels penalty is now over as we tick down toward the end of the period here. Swanstrom out of the box trying to play that one around the defenseman, but turned away and now thrown back in. Spinning out of there was Sam Lee for Champlin Park. You can see some more jumping Osseo. There was a part of this first period where they were getting outplayed, but definitely have battled back not only on the scoreboard, but just in the overall play here.
The penalties can really change the situation, and they took advantage of it, got a power play goal, and they're definitely in this game.
So our score at the end of one period is Osseo 1 and Champlin Park 1. We'll continue with our live coverage of Northwest Suburban boys hockey in just a moment here on CCX.
Race. Love is love.
Welcome back here to the Champlin Ice Forum. 1-1 after one period tonight as the Rebels and Osseo Orioles battling it out. And we're joined by Kevin Willey, one of the co-head coaches for Osseo. And I thought your team, definitely responded late in that period. Kevin, how did you feel about the way the team bounced back and got that tying goal?
Man, it was a great period. I mean, really happy with the way our guys played. I mean, it's a gritty game. I mean, the first time we played them, it was a gritty battle. I mean, sticks and bodies and all that stuff are flying around. But no, a really good start for our guys. Nice picking up on that little power play there. But yeah, just got to keep working.
You guys got a win last week over Coon Rapids, a couple wins up north. Can you kind of sense that the guys are feeling better about things now and gaining some confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they keep working. I mean, it's we've been close on a few of these games. They're just a goal or two away, and mental mistakes. Again, our guys are working hard. It's just just the mental piece that we just got to keep on working on.
You talked about a pretty physical first period, I thought, and for a long time, they were letting things go, but obviously power play and penalty kill situations are going to be big in a game like this too. Is that something that you're feeling confident in, the rest of the way for your guys? Or?
Well, I mean, hopefully we don't get in a special teams battle. Obviously we picked one up there, but I mean, we're a blue collar team, and if we play 5-on-5 the rest of the night, I like our chances, and just grinding that puck behind their D, and yeah, let's hope it doesn't get into a special teams battle.
We were talking before about how this building feels about twice as big as your rink. Is it a difficult adjustment to come and play on the Olympic sheet here?
Yeah, it is. Definitely talking about special teams, but I mean, we've had our summer program here for, back when I was high school, so 20 plus years. We've had our STP program here, so kind of home away from home, and but yeah, it definitely is a different sheet of ice than we're used to.
Let me ask you a little bit about the Northwest Suburban and your West Division so far. Anything surprised you about what you've seen from all the teams so far?
I mean, really, it's I think it's the most open it's been in quite a while. I mean, I think Centennial is kind of the, I think talking about section-wise, I guess, thinking about our section, I mean, Centennial's kind of that number one, but I mean, we got teams battling for 2 through 8, but I mean, our side of the conference here, it's been, hey, I mean, anybody can beat anybody. I mean, Irondale's on top right now, which is good for their program and stuff like that. But it's a battle. I mean, every game is really close.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin. Good luck the rest of the night, and good first period. We hope to see a lot more of it in the second.
Me too. Thanks, Jay.
All right, Kevin Willey, co-coach for Osseo, as his team tied with Champlin Park 1-1 after one period here tonight at the Ice Forum. We'll be right back here on CCX Sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back here to the Champlin Ice Forum. Osseo and Champlin Park tied up at 1 apiece here in the first intermission of this boys hockey game. Well, obviously we get out and get a chance to see the athletic teams from all the schools in the area on a regular basis, and there's obviously a lot going on in the classroom and just throughout the school at all the schools. And one of the new features this fall on CCX News has been our school spotlight segment. And let's take a look now at Osseo High School.
Would he defend you? Yeah, right? So you would want someone like that.
A peek inside this room shows teachers sitting with students studying crime and punishment issues for social studies, but it's no traditional class.
So it's blended learning, really meaning student-centered, where the students kind of guide, this is what I want to learn, this is how I want to get there, and the teacher acts more as a mentor, as a coach.
It allows students freedom to choose the direction they go, as long as they meet the learning objectives set down by the district and the state.
Learning doesn't need to be as traditional as what it was.
For Principal Michael Lehan, the job is to provide pathways to success for students from different backgrounds and abilities. The school's first graduation class was in 1925, making it the oldest high school in the district. But for the more than 2,200 students here now, it's not their great-grandparents' school.
We want students to be able to ask the critical questions that they need to explore learning for themselves on their own.
And that's the focus of this AVID class, a national college prep program in its second year at Osseo High School.
Oh, beware the wolf, because wolves always want to eat pigs.
You think you know the story of the three little pigs until you hear questions like, what happens to the wolf when he can't blow down the last house? It's a lesson in critical thinking.
So in education, we want our students asking questions that are more than who, what, where, when, why, and kind of digging deeper into their information base and having them create questions that normal people wouldn't be asking them in an educational setting.
It's another way to get students ready for college.
These are students that have the capacity to go to college, that they're exceptional students, and so forth. However, we want them to level up.
Osseo's auto repair program will go to a whole new level next year as students are able to earn a new, higher level of certification.
A car is really a rolling computer nowadays. A lot of cars have 25, 30 computers inside of them that all have to speak with each other.
Students here are ready to speak that language, too.
It's important because it teaches you about life skills. I mean, everything, every day in here, it's hands-on. We're learning how to problem solve.
Even now, those passing the 2-year automotive program can find jobs in maintenance and light repair. The new program will put them ahead in college, and Andy Kavanaugh pushes the idea of using car repair skills to help pay for college.
Instead of going out and making $11 an hour flipping burgers, they're making $17, $18 an hour working on cars.
The aim at Osseo High School is to keep school relevant for a diverse group of learners.
You're not just a number, you're not just money from the state. Nope, you're a human being in which I feel that is my moral imperative to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our students.
So a lot of good things going on at Osseo High School, and want to note too, Michael Lehan, the principal, is a member of our CCX Sports Hall of Fame, a great football player at Hopkins and for the Gophers, and then in the National Football League as well. We'll take a time out here. We'll come back with first period highlights. Osseo and Champlin Park tied up at 1 apiece here in Northwest Suburban boys hockey.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
The band plays on here. Champlin Park Band on hand this evening as the Orioles and the Rebels do battle here. Well, a pretty eventful first period of hockey. Let's take a look at some highlights from this one. Some hitting and some couple of goals, obviously. Here's a great stop by Boynton as he's able to hold his ground there as Ty Hill came to the net. And then shot going just wide there, and the rebound they were able to get to it. Here's the Champlin Park goal and a nice move. Kargas intercepted a pass in his own zone, and he goes in to put it away, an unassisted goal, and made it 1-0. And at that point, Champlin Park seemed to be pretty much dominating. That shot just glancing off the crossbar for a near miss. Another long one here that Kleinshey has to smother against his chest. And then later in the period, Osseo got some more things going as a couple opportunities in close here. Boynton making a pad save on an opportunity. And then there's another great stop right there as he had to make some key stops. And later in the period, as you see Kleinshey making a stop, and then we get a penalty. And penalties became an issue later, and it ended up being on a 4-on-3 power play that Osseo scores. And here it is, Brash going to the net and snapping that one up and over the glove of Boynton as they allowed him an awful lot of room there. Orioles a slight edge in shots. Rebels maybe just one more good scoring chance, and you see the penalties have been taking an impact in the game. One power play goal for Osseo. We will come back with more here from the Ice Forum as Champlin Park and Osseo battle here in a January hockey game on CCX Sports.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
And welcome back here as you see the score knotted up at 1. Shots relatively even. Osseo getting some opportunities late there to go ahead in the shots on goal category. And we talked a little bit about the conference with Kevin Willey from Osseo. And you see right now Irondale is leading the West Division. And Armstrong Cooper won it last year, a little bit behind them. And Champlin Park right now in 3rd. And we talked about it earlier in a couple of games, Dan. I think having this division set up where they've had split into 2 is really kind of given some more hope and some more shot in the arm to really, most of these programs on the West Division side. I mean, most years, year in and year out, they're not going to beat the Maple Groves and the Centennials, probably. I mean, it might happen here and there. But to give an opportunity, I know we talked extensively last year with Armstrong Cooper, first conference title they had won in many, many years. Yep. And it's a big deal to those guys, and it's a big deal to Irondale right now. They've had a long time before they've had, and for Champlin Park to still be in the thick of it. I was a little skeptical when they first went to the 2 divisions, but I think it's definitely given these teams more hope and more of a feeling of, we can do this, we can get some wins.
Well, and then the fact is too, they still play some of the better teams too. They do cross divisions, but you're right. And to stack one and then put the other with other powers, and somebody can emerge. As we were talking in pregame, Champlin Park, everything's in play for this team to make a run against the Blaines, against the Anokas, against the Centennials. They just got to play one game against Centennial where they're just a little bit better. When you get a hot goalie, you can do it, and they certainly have the speed to play with them, and they can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, we talked about how the gap has narrowed. Really, the West Division teams have kind of held their ground. I think the North is, without a doubt, weaker than it has been the last couple of years, and some of those teams just aren't quite as powerful as they were and unbeatable as they were. You look at Maple Grove and Elk River, it's been a pretty big drop-off from last year to this.
Well, that division, North Division, would have 3 to 4 teams in the top 10 in the state, rated-wise. And, you mentioned those names, you automatically think good hockey program, good hockey. Blaine's not having that good a year. Elk River's been up and down. The only consistent one has been Centennial, and they've had some really close games all of a sudden.
Penalty boxes are empty as we get set to begin period 2 here at the Ice Forum. Cargus will face off against Westman. And the draw controlled by the Rebels, back to Ellingson. Tipped on in by Sam Schuster and then thrown right back out by the Orioles. Champlin Park almost scored on the first shift of the first period. We'll see if who's ready to play right from the get-go here in this second period. Back out to the point now. Ellingson, a long shot, and that one changed directions. It hit somebody in front and went just wide. Kleinachet tried to turn his body to square up on that puck. Bounces back over to the corner now. And back out to center there where it's gathered up by Max Shellum. He throws it back in for Champlin Park as they make a change. And we've talked about it throughout the first period and with Coach Willie in the intermission. You better be ready to get hit in this game because both teams are taking the body. Although I think it's been a relatively clean game. I mean, we've had the 3 penalties called, and I don't think there's been anything too out of the ordinary though in terms of hitting. I mean, a little scrum in front there on the one where Schwanstrom was penalized, but a lot of solid body checking too, which is definitely a part of hockey.
Well, the message in the Champlin Park locker room is you played a pretty good period until we got the penalties. Stay out of the box and we're going to be just fine. They didn't open the door for Osseo. They took advantage of it. And like you and I were talking about, Champlin Park had the better part of that period for most of the time until those penalties occurred.
And Coach Willie, though, was kind of honest, saying we don't really want this to be a special teams battle all night long because that hasn't been a strength of ours. They did get their 1 goal on a 4-on-3, yes, but it's he feels they'll be better off if they can stay 5-on-5 in this game rather than give the Rebels any opportunities to get things going.
I agree with that, but I like the fact that the Orioles took advantage of it when they did get a power play, which has been not very good this year, actually. Actually, this is terrible. And it's got to bolster some confidence. You got to get goals any way you can.
Rebels able to work it back out to center. Carried hard up the right side. Kleinachet the save, but he couldn't control the rebound and comes right back. Back across the weak side. Kleinachet making a stop on a tough angle shot there from Aiden Grant. Rebels buzzing the net a little bit here on this shift.
Here's the difference, too, between the two teams. Champlin Park's defense takes good charge in their own zone. The Orioles, they got to get a little more quick-footed as a D, take good angles and take the body out, and get mean in front of that net. They're letting Rebels walk right in.
Oh, and Kleinachet making the save on that redirection. Then another. Wow, he comes up with a couple of big ones there as that puck was tipped in front and looked like it might be going to hit the twine, but it didn't happen. Now an icing call here against Osseo is Champlin Park.
Oh, I do want to see this replay. Wow.
That's a heck of a save as Amsler got the tip, and then Amsler again, and he was denied.
Oh, I'm going to take that one home to mother. Oh my gosh, what a great save. Little things like that can help bolster teams' confidence. And if they start getting some good goaltending here and the defense picks it up, Osseo could be there.
Banked ahead into the corner here, race for it. Trying to free it up is Cole Julian. Now jumping in to help him is Rylan Anderson, as it's a 2-on-2 scrum, and now a third Osseo guy comes to join the fray there. Beisner. Rebels have to touch up as that puck came out. And then a dangerous giveaway for Osseo right there, and it just slipped past Julian. Looked like he was going to have a good shot attempt there. Now he tries to come out of the corner. Seems to me the puck is sticking quite a bit after it's fairly warm, and after the resurfacing, it seemed as though the puck has had a spot or two back there kind of beyond the goal line where it's kind of stuck. Might be a little extra water out there yet.
There's wet spots all along the way. It's from all the way through the neutral zone and both zones. You're right.
Flipped out front there and denied as losing his stick there trying to tip it was Tim Lavin. He wanted a penalty, didn't get it. Icing waved off here. Swanstrom hustling in on the forecheck for Champlin Park. Ooh, almost another bad giveaway for Osseo right there. That has definitely been an issue for them. Chased down here by Meyer. To the point it comes, and that drive goes wide.
I think they were looking for a setup there for Mitch Meyer to tip that one in on the side.
Rebels flip it back in. Kleinische out to stop it there. Thrown right up the middle and then taken away. And then retaken. Here come the Orioles. Little drop pass there. Meyer a big spin, but it's grabbed up instead by Champlin Park. And here come the Rebels. Roberts forced out wide. And it'll bounce over to the corner here.
You can see when the Rebels get clean through the neutral zone, the pressure they put on with their speed on the Osseo D. They just pushing on them all the way and create a good opportunity.
Pass ahead intended for Roberts, intercepted and now picked up there by Musial for Osseo, but taken right back. Long pass to the blue line where Amsler is forced out to the corner. Now drops it in behind the net for Grant. Grant spinning away from a check. Ellingson walking into the circle, fires, and gloved by Kleinische. That one might have been going wide anyway, but he wasn't going to take any chances. I think he was sensing, it was interesting, Coach Fino told us before the game that at times his defensemen have gotten tired out chasing things around, and I think that was a good stoppage there by the goaltender.
Good line change here in the defensive zone here. Got the face-off specialist out, and you got the Orioles won the face-off.
Reverse it back around now for Fischbach. And then that pass off a skate at center. Flipped into the Rebel zone by Beisner, but Champlin Park able to come up with it. Bounced over Ellingson's stick. And a solid check thrown there as Grant paid the price after he dumped that one in. Ellingson keeping it in at the line. Throws it back behind the net. They'll come back out to the point again as they're trying to finish up a change. Ooh, nice job by Ellingson to keep that one in. Then the tip goes just wide. Amsler got a piece of that one. And wow, there would have been no chance for Kleinische on that one, but it just bounced wide. Puck slowly making its way to the Osseo line, and that's going to be offside. And we'll get our first whistle in quite some time here. Here's another look. Here's, first of all, nice play to keep it in, and then watch this tip. Bounces just wide of the mark.
Upper left corner, a bouncer going in. The only thing I like here, both teams here are really working hard. They're both all putting effort out. A little sloppy play, but they're not playing like they're tired. They got a little zip in their skates, both of them.
Ty Hill circling back for Osseo, throws it ahead, and then they lose it at center ice. Champlin Park looking to counter quickly, and outside. Yeah, I was going to say the whistle was late, but I think the linesman who was right on there, he got run into, so he got help from an official further away to call that one. That's why there was a slight delay in the whistle, but it was clearly an offside there.
I'm sorry, there's no excuse for that. By gosh, the ref's got to stay on top of the game. No excuse. Oh, I'm sorry, I was acting like a coach.
Yeah, he had to turn his head to avoid an elbow or a shoulder hitting him briefly. So good job, though, to communicate between each other there as the puck comes free behind the net. Out to the slot and a shot, and Kleinsche, that one basically just hit him. I don't think he saw it. He was coming out toward the shooter, and the referee might have been saying the same here, as you'll see this pass come out to the high slot.
Okay, now watch as he takes it and just kind of relaxes his chest, brings it back, so instead of a hard target, turns into a soft target, drops, and he's in good position there.
That's the little secret that, a lot of people maybe don't realize, is that goaltending is an awful lot about positioning early, because you are not going to see every shot coming, that's for sure.
Absolutely, Jay. It's probably the most important thing a goalie can learn.
Flip to the front, it goes off Swanstrom's skate. And they knock it back down. Another opportunity for the Rebels. Centering pass as they try to go to Swanstrom there. Schuster did. But he was tied up in front. Pass was a little behind where it was intended to go anyway. Battle for it along the wall here, and they get it on out. Rebels back to play it, but a nice forecheck there as Carter Compton got in to bother that pass. Now Compton back there again, trying to throw a check. That comes around to Adam Brenny. Hammered back in by the Orioles. Lee bounced off a check there. Pass tipped ahead. Ooh, and Derek Roberts had eyes of a breakaway there if he could try to tip that around the defenseman, but it didn't quite work out how he wanted it to. Dylan McKenzie back to gather it for Osseo. Getting it ahead to Cooper Goodman. Goodman will bank it in behind the Rebels net. Been kind of a little more of an end-to-end second period. Not as much in terms of hitting, not as much in terms of chances, but still pretty good hockey.
Yeah, I agree.
Out front it comes, and then that just popped away from the defenseman pinching down Kinsella. Rebels tap it back out, and now looking to Aiden Grant, and knocked away and back out. Long pass ahead onto the stick of Roberts, trying to go around the defenseman. Roberts a shot, and Kleinische just gets the pads closed in time there as Roberts made a pretty nice move with that puck for Champlin Park.
The second leading scorer on the Champlin Park team. Beautiful move here. There's a dipsy doodle and comes in and gets a shot off. But here we go. Kleinische again in good position, not allowing anything on the short side.
So no scoring in this period. Each team scored once in period one. We are still at 1-1 here. Sam Lee, or make that Brett Sullivan up with it there. Rebels look like playing a fourth line at the moment. There's a shot. Kleinische the save, and then cutting through there was Caden Walters. His stick got up a little bit high, and Osseo didn't like that. Not enough to draw a penalty, it looks like, though. So get a face-off in the Orioles zone.
Oh, he's seeing that in those couple rushes here. A little bit of dipsy-do by the forwards getting around the Osseo D. Osseo D's got to start getting their body on it. Don't watch the puck. Don't play the game. Get into his waist and get him off it physically, and let the other D come in and get the puck away from him.
Kargas controls the draw. Fanned on initially, and then the shot goes wide from Sam Lee. Back out to the point. Lee controlling here for the Rebels, and then that one was knocked down, and there's a chance for a 2-on-1 here for Osseo. Brash, who scored their goal, got a little impatient. Tried to throw that one a high stick side, but missed the net. And thrown out front. Nice job by Boynton to get his goal stick out there and block that pass. And that's going to be an icing call here against Champlin Park. Boynton really hasn't had much work in this period, so you always worry about a little bit of rust when that puck hasn't been down near you for a while.
And on the other side, he certainly has seen some rubber in this period, but he's done a really good job. But it's been a little more, Jay, I like what you said. It's been a little up and down both teams. It is playing across the ice here, and not a lot of sustained effort in the attack zone for the Orioles, but yet they're playing pretty good here, getting some opportunity.
Unofficially 10-2 edge in shots for Champlin Park in this second period up on the board here. So Osseo, and this puck gets up into the player bench here, it looks like. We'll have a face-off coming up.
Well, we were talking before the game, we were looking at numbers and goals and goals against. Osseo, second period is a bad period for them. It's been consistent all year. On the other hand, Champlin Park, it's been their best period where they've finally put away people. They've taken their leads and they've won games with it. So right now, if Osseo keeps the score as it is right now through the second period, I think they've won, statistically wise anyway.
Adam Brenny fanned on the pass and then went down. So Osseo trying to capitalize on that, but nothing initially happening out of it. Brenny picks it up again here. Long pass ahead. Oh, and it just hopped off Robert's stick. Now Meyer controlling it back the other way for Osseo. Meyer, a high riser that goes over the net. And pop back out. It'll come all the way down, and it's going to be an icing call here against Champlin Park. So we will head back into the Rebels' end of the rink once again here as we went relatively whistle-free for a good chunk of the first period. Now we've seen a couple icings and offside or two mixed in.
Last rush by Osseo, though. They had a 3-on-2 coming in, and that's when you got to get a puck on net. You can't miss the net. Go over to the side. You got two guys bearing down with you. Make sure you get into the pads of the goalie. If you're in that close, it might cause a rebound, and the two guys coming in might have an opportunity for it.
Referee working on the net, the top of the net here behind Boynton. Okay. He had the water bottle in there, and there was something a little amiss there, so just making sure. And obviously, the biggest reason for that is you want to make sure there's not a little opening where a puck could fly right through there and make it hard to tell if there's a goal or not.
Yep.
Tipped out to center, and just a little too far there. Orioles bring it right back out, but then comes back into the Osseo zone. Goodman will send it in. Boynton out to stop it, although it bounced slightly past him. Puck almost freed up there. Now it does come loose, and a sliding play, and it bounced all the way through the slot area there. Nobody from Osseo really could get to it, though. Rylan Anderson now carrying for Champlin Park. And it's going to pop back out to center here. Circling back is Ellingson. And puck almost freed up there as Brett Sullivan hustling in after it for the Rebels. Kargas double teamed there and couldn't keep possession. Now it'll trickle out, and a chance for a 2-on-1 here for Osseo. Here's the shot. Boynton the save, a big rebound and a goal.
There it is.
Orioles retake the lead. Put away there by Cooper Goodman after the initial shot by Consola.
All right, Consola's coming down here. Watch what happens. He knows he's got a 2-on-1. Where does he put the puck? He puts it on the pad. The rebound comes out. The guy coming down the slot buries it. That's what you got to do. Get the puck on net, especially in the pads of the goalie. If that close, they can't control it that well. And just Goodman comes down that slot, and he just buries it. And that's why you hit the goalie, ladies and gentlemen. Young kids, watch that. 2-on-1, 3-on-2, hit the goalie. Don't miss the net.
Going to be the first goal of the year for Goodman, and what a great time for it for Osseo as they will take their first lead of the night at 2-1. Said not a lot had been happening. Boynton had a lot of work, and all of a sudden the 2-on-1 leads to a goal there. He made a nice stop on the initial one, but
from the Osseo perspective, Jay, I mean, if Kleinashe hadn't been on his toes, they'd be down probably, 3-1, 4-1 right now.
Come the Orioles again as Acri carries it in deep, gets the pass away, and they look out front, and that one deflected aside. Boy, the complexion of this game has changed quite a bit. It seemed like Champlin Park was, if not dominating the period, then definitely getting the better of it.
Yes.
But now Osseo has had some good shifts in a row. They take the lead 2-1. And that pass fails to connect on the home run try there, and it'll be an icing call against the Orioles here. 3:29 to go in period number 2. Osseo now in front by a 2-1 score.
A bit surprising here considering the records, but Osseo's continuing to work hard. They don't have the speed, they don't have the size that Champlin Park's up, but they've done well what they've needed to do well and gotten some outstanding goaltending tonight.
And that pass broken up. That's continued to be a little bit of an issue for them. The breakout passes that are into Champlin Park sticks or skates has happened more than what they would like. Now the Rebels able to free that puck up. Back out to the point here, Shellum. That one goes wide as the traffic was really more to the other side of the net at that point. And now the Orioles work it back out to center. The pass fails to connect. It's going to be an icing call as they were just shy of the red line, it looked like. McKenzie tried to make that pass on the right wing side. Kind of close enough that they oftentimes will give you the benefit of the doubt there. It was hard to tell, but going to be ruled an icing.
Well, the difference is going to be Osseo's defense. They got to step up. They got to start getting the giveaway. Stop giving it away. They've been giving passes out. Champlin's been able to pick off.
That shot is blocked, and that one appeared to hurt Blake Redding. He might have taken that one in the hand or wrist. Flip back around, and they lose possession here again. And then the takeaway for the Rebels by Rylan Anderson, but down he goes. Back out to the point. Oh, and just avoiding the check there as having trouble with the puck was Rennie. Now back into the Champlin Park zone. And flipped ahead. Orioles giving chase there. And bodies flying everywhere. They're letting them play, and there's another big collision. And here come the Orioles again, an opportunity. The pass knocked down, follow-up try is in. 3-1 as Micah Beisner trailing that play. The pass attempt was deflected, and it winds up with Beisner, and he did not miss.
There was a second opportunity, a good shot or pass in the middle there. And it just, I guess there wasn't a shot. It just kind of bounced out front like a ping pong ball here. Off a defense, off an Osseo player, and then into the net. Second guy coming in. Picked it up, Mike Beisner, nice job. Osseo with a surprising 2-goal lead here.
So the Orioles have really stepped it up, and a nice job by Beisner. I mean, I've talked about this in other games. Sometimes, guys, you get a little too overeager and you get too far in deep. Well, he was in the right spot when that pass was deflected. I mean, is it a little bit of a lucky bounce? Maybe, but that's, by being in the right place. By being in the right place, you create an opportunity right there.
Them that works hard create their own luck.
Pass across. Boy, the Rebels, I think, feeling a little sense of urgency now. Penalty coming up against Osseo. Going to get a cross-checking call. Things were really getting physical. Champlin Park was trying to, battle back and get some offense generated, and we get the cross-checking call. Looks like Brash will pick it up. So 1:12 remaining in this period, but Osseo will now go shorthanded. They have scored a couple goals in about a 2.5 minute span to take the 3-1 lead. Mark Fino's team now will have to fight this penalty off late in the period.
Well, actually, Osseo's done a pretty good job. They got an 80% penalty kill rate. Allowed 15 goals and 78 penalty kills.
That shot deflecting up and out of play here. And boy, Champlin Park, after that third goal went in, you could kind of sense that they're like, all right, we've had enough, you know, really coming back hard, but can they channel that into the right way and you know, generate some offense on this power play?
Well, Kleinashay's been a big factor in this game, but he's going to have to continue to be.
He makes a save here and then another. Wow. Back out Ellingson. And the puck just squirted free. Ellingson comes back up with it now for Champlin Park. A blast into the pads of Kleinashay. Under a minute to go in the period. Champlin Park down by 2 and trying to get something going here on this power play. Back across. Kargas' shot. Ellingson with it at the point. 25 seconds to go in the period. And that shot is blocked. Good effort there by Goodman. Kargas putting it down low. Here's a chance and a goal. Derek Roberts pumps it home for Champlin Park with just 10.5 seconds to go in the period, and the Rebels back to within a goal.
8th goal of the year for Roberts. Just a nice play. Came out of the middle off the board, so you'll see him sneak in right here coming up from behind. Just rips one into the left-hand corner. What a gal going to go at that range with that accurate a shot. It's going to go in. Well, the Rebels taking advantage now of a power play situation, Jay, to pull themselves back to within 1 goal.
And they moved the puck very nicely on that. Yeah. You know, whether they had scored or not, I think they were feeling good about the way they had really worked that puck around. So game tightens up here with a late goal for Champlin Park after Osseo had seized the momentum with a couple of goals of their own. So our score after 2 is Orioles 3, Rebels 2. We'll have our second intermission and then period 3 coming up here on CCX.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here to the ice forum in Champlin as it's an interesting battle here. 3-2, Osseo leading Champlin Park. Tommy Potter, assistant coach for Champlin Park, joins us, and boy, an eventful second period there. You guys get one late to pull back within one. You know, what are your thoughts after two?
You know, after two, I mean, the boys are skating hard. They're battling. You know, it hasn't been our best game of the year so far, but the fact of the matter is we're in the game still, and hockey's a weird sport. Anything can happen here in the third. We just hope to come out, have a good third period, and hopefully pull away with this one in the end.
It looked like for part of the second that you guys definitely had the better of it, and then all of a sudden they came to life there. Did that surprise you at all, or what did you see there?
Well, you know, I mean, that's hockey, though. I mean, we had some breakdowns on our own blue line, and some odd man rushes going the other way, and that's just not our team. We got a little bit out of sorts there, but and that's what happens. When you get out of sorts, teams are going to capitalize on it, and now we just need to get back into the groove and things, play our simple brand of hockey, and when we do that, good things happen. So we just got to get back to that.
How big was it for you to get that power play goal at the end?
Oh, that was huge. I mean, we go into the period, you know, at the end of the period with some momentum. You know, it's a lot different game going into the third period down 3-2 instead of 3-1. So, you know, we got the momentum now going into the third period. Hopefully we can capitalize on it and pump a few more in and come out on the right side of this one.
Your club's been playing some pretty good hockey of late here. You know, the win over Duluth Marshall, I think, was an eye-opener for a lot of people. And also rallying to Ty Armstrong-Cooper. You know, how much fun has it been to see this group kind of grow throughout the year like that?
You know, it's we got a lot of older guys in this group, a lot of three-year players, and this year it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun group to coach, and there's just no quit in these kids, and that's why I'm looking forward to this third period. There's going to be no quit. We're going to come out flying, and that's what we did against Armstrong. We did that against Duluth Marshall, and you know what? This team's got something special. It's going to be a fun run here at the end of the year, and you know, you get the playoffs, anything can happen. So I'm looking forward to this year.
Tommy, thanks for joining us, and best of luck in the third.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Tommy Potter, an assistant coach for Champlin Park, as his team getting a goal late in the second to pull within one. They trail Osseo 3-2. We'll be right back here to the Ice Forum on CCX Sports.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Osseo leading Champlin Park 3-2 through 2 periods of this hockey game, Northwest Suburban Conference. And on the girls' side, obviously some very good hockey teams in the area in the Northwest Suburban as well. And on our Sports Jam show on CCX, John Jacobson had a chance to meet Manon McMahon from the Maple Grove hockey team, and here's a look at that story.
Manon McMahon has already played on 2 section championship teams at Maple Grove. She was a freshman on the Crimson's 2016 Class 2A runner-up hockey team, and just this fall was part of the first ever girls soccer team from the school to win a section title. The junior loves playing both and how each sport helps her in the other.
Yeah, definitely soccer. I mean, it impacts me in hockey too, and hockey impacts me in soccer too. So it's 2 sports that are kind of similar in a lot of ways. So it helps me in both sports. So it's really awesome.
I think athletes are athletes, and they're going to make plays whether they're playing 1 sport or 3 sports. For me, I like the kids to get off their skates and do something different. I think that passion and that love comes back, but they also have less risk of overuse or overtraining, and they possibly learn something in that other sport that can carry over that makes them a better hockey player.
One of the things she brings is her tenacity. She's very quick in her ability to cut side to side. It's a little bit, I go and watch her in hockey games, I see some of that same thing, that side to side lateral movement. She's comfortable with the ball underneath her, same thing, having that puck in between her frame. She can do both those things really well.
In soccer, Manon scored 14 goals and added 11 assists for the state runner-up Crimson. The all-conference forward says the season was definitely a special one.
Losing to Centennial 2 years in a row in the section final and then finally beating them was an amazing feeling, and then being able to go to the state tournament was an unreal feeling, and it was so awesome.
A playmaker by nature, Manon has been encouraged to be more of a scorer this hockey season. She's leading the team in both goals and assists, and has been an adjustment though.
It's different. It's definitely a different role for me. I've never been this role on a team before, so it's definitely got something to get used to, but it'll be cool to see at the end.
In her first 2 seasons with us, would try and pass the puck when she had opportunities to shoot, and we're trying to stress with her to shoot when she has a great opportunity, and it's been paying off for her and for us.
Maple Grove is currently ranked 9th in Class AA. Teammates say McMahon is great to play alongside.
I love Manon, and she is such a hard worker, and she's been such a role model and a great captain too this year. And she just works hard every shift, and she's strong, and she just is forceful and going to the net, and she makes such an impact on this team. So I love being her teammate. It's super fun.
Though she loves both sports, Manon admits hockey is her favorite and is verbally committed to play collegiately at Minnesota Duluth. She's glad to have the recruiting and decision process behind her.
Yeah, I'm very excited. They have a great program with amazing coaches and amazing players there already, and I'm excited to see what they'll be able to do, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Maple Grove lost several talented seniors to graduation, and so McMahon and some of the other Crimson varsity veterans have helped a young but quickly maturing team improve as the season's gone on. An improvement they hope can carry them deep into the playoffs.
It's just coming to practice every day and working on those little things, and I think we've been doing a good job of it so far, so it's going to be exciting what we can do come sections and hopefully the state tournament.
Manon McMahon having a nice season. Maple Grove girls hockey has really come on strong. They had a lot of new faces in their lineup this year, but playing well in the second half of the season. 3-2 Osseo leading Champlin Park. We will be back with more of our coverage here from the Ice Forum on CCX, including second period highlights.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
3-2 Osseo as we get set for period number 3 here at the Champlin Ice Forum, along with Dan Fick and MJ Wilcox. Look at highlights from our second period. And the first part of the period was a lot of end-to-end, but look at that save by Clanche there. That was tremendous on the deflection by Drew Amsler. And then this one, Ellingson keeping it in. Here's the tip from Amsler that goes just wide of the mark. And then going to the net, another save there by Clanche, as actually Osseo was kind of back on their heels and being dominated for part of that period, but then things changed in a hurry. You get a little 2-on-1, Cancella's shot stop, but the follow-up swept in as he was being checked by Cooper Goodman. That one tied, or put them ahead 2-1, excuse me. And that came at 12:45, and then less than 3 minutes later, the pass bounces off a couple of skates. The trailer on the play, Micah Beisner, pumps it in, makes it 3-1 Osseo, but Champlin Park coming back late with the power play. Derek Roberts taking the pass and zipping it home for his 8th of the year. And that one came with just 10.5 seconds to go in the period, and that's where we stand at 3-2. The Rebels had a big shot advantage in that second period. Osseo, really, the 2 goals they got were really their 2 main offensive attacks of that period, but it counts for the lead for them right now. Champlin Park trying to battle back. We'll take another timeout and then come back to drop the puck for period number 3 as the Orioles try to hang on to the lead. Rebels looking for a rally.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
One period to go here, and the Rebels trailing Osseo by a score of 3-2 here on CCX, and entertaining couple of periods of hockey so far here. Dan, what's the biggest key for both teams here as we head to the third?
Osseo, 2 things. They need to continue their transition game, which was deadly. They had a 3-on-2 and a 2-on-1, which kind of paid off for them. Play good defense, though. Back up Clanche's performance tonight. Champlin Park, just keep doing what you're doing. You're speeding there. You've been dominating. You just need to get a few more pucks on the net and take advantage of power plays or odd-man rushes if you can.
Yeah, really for Champlin Park, it felt like, later in that period or as you head into the break, they need to play with urgency but not panic. They don't need to be worried that they're behind right now. And like you said, here's a chance for Osseo right off the bat, and Boynton makes a save. as the faceoff controlled by Osseo, and they get an early opportunity here in the third. Swept back out to the point here, and it gets by Shellum. Shellum trying to battle through a check there. Puck freed up, chance out front, and then it was mostly fanned on there as Westman had the opportunity. Now here come the Rebels back the other way. Kargich gives it back. Swanstrom dragging it, trying to drag it across the front, knocked away though. It's always been noticeable when this line's out there for Champlin Park. They've pretty much controlled play, the grouping with Swanstrom and Kargich and Schuster.
Well, it's got two of the top three scorers on the team on that line, and they're showing it.
Banked around and back out. Puck knocked down at center, and the Orioles able to send it back in as Consola drives it back. Boynton picking it up there. And it looks like we have a penalty call coming up here.
They have too many men on the ice. I didn't see a signal, but I saw the referee looking at the bench. Well, this is a big change in events here now. Osseo took advantage the last time they had a power play.
So the Orioles get an early man advantage here in the third, and yeah, I never did see a signal. I think you may be right about this penalty call. Yes, too many men on the ice for the Rebels.
Well, somebody wasn't paying attention. That penalty drives coaches nuts.
Served by Rylan Anderson here, so Orioles would love to capitalize again, obviously, and restore a 2-goal lead. It's thrown in here by Champlin Park. Ty Hill carrying the puck out here for the Orioles. Hill firing, and the stop made and held on to here by Brennan Boynton for Champlin Park.
I guess that line was a little tired. Yeah, just don't float into the zone, then take a quick shot when you've got in the zone. Set it up, pull it off to the sideboards, and then get everybody to get in position, start working it, and create an opportunity.
Orioles able to win the draw. Here's a long shot, stop, rebound loose, penalty coming up. And we are going to see Champlin Park go 2 men short, a holding call in front of the net.
Well, you know, we were talking with Pat Janaston, the coach of Champlin Park, before the game, and maybe we'll see the holding down here. Oh,
right there, Ellingson gets the arm around him, and he's going to go.
And Pat Johnson's talking about discipline and consistency, and right now there's not discipline being shown by the Rebels. They got a minute. They're giving them a minute and 3 now, 5-on-3.
Orioles do control the draw too to save themselves some valuable time here. Brought to the front, it deflects up in the air. Pass is tipped, but they're still able to keep it in. Give it back now to Hill. Down low with it. Here's the shot, and that one will go all the way through. Orioles trying to get things set up as they come off the wall. Now out back to Hill. Plays it down low. Pass out front, Boynton the stop, and then it pops up over. 15 to go in the first penalty time to Champlin Park. Still a 5-on-3, and here's a rip that goes wide from Meyer.
Well, it's good to have Meyer the shooter. He's got 3 power play goals.
Trying to thread that one through traffic, and it's hammered out. First penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-4 now. Hill bringing it out here for the Orioles. Ty Hill to the backhand and fought off there by Boynton. Orioles finishing up a change here. 35 to go in the man advantage. Thrown back down toward the corner. Controlled there by Blake Redding. Banks it back out to the point there to Fischbach. Fischbach, and the return went by him. Boy, it'd be a big win for Champlin Park if they fight this 5-on-3 off. And they're getting close to doing so. Roberts had it hacked away, but picked up, thrown right back in, and that's pretty much going to eat up the remaining time here. Penalty is now over to Ellingson, and they've killed off a lengthy 5-on-3. So we'll see if that gets the Rebels jump started, or if Osseo say, well, that's no harm done. We didn't get a goal. We didn't get anything set up, but at least we're still in the lead too.
Well, they did get a few things set up, and they got a couple opportunities there. A couple bad decisions, especially at the last part of it there, where they're just kind of had the puck dribble out, the pass gone awry, so to speak. And but Champlin Park, good for them. Kill off a 5-on-3, and the end of a 5-on-4 did a good job. So still got one goal down, and they're one shot away from tying this up.
Ellingson will throw it in deep and give chase, and he throws a huge check right there. Pass to center, bouncing away from Goodman.
You kind of get the feeling that these teams really don't have a lot of affection for each other, Jay. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit. Here's Roberts. Roberts circling to the front, trying to shoot. That one was blocked. And the pass back across. They try and get a tip out front. That did not quite connect. Aiden Grant now controlling for Champlin Park. Banking it around. They bring it out front. Oh, and Kleinische to stop. As Roberts took that pass and brought it to the front. Pretty long reach there, and he nearly, trying to see how close this came to getting snuck by there, almost between the pads.
Yeah.
He got Kleinische spread out a little bit there, and it was the right idea to go 5-hole, and it almost worked.
Roberts had a great shift there, Jay. Really put some pressure on, got a couple good opportunities to tie this game.
Kleinische has had a pretty good night. His numbers coming in, not looking all that good, but I tell you, he's robbed the Rebels a few times tonight.
Well, as you were talking to the Osseo coaches too, they were looking for one of these guys to really step up. Now we're getting to the point where it's section time, and you want one of your goalies to take charge and start playing really good hockey. You can ride him, and maybe this is one Kleinische decides he wants that job.
Swanstrom gaining control, but then had his shot blocked. It goes off the edge of the net there. Played back down toward the corner. McKenzie up with it here for Osseo. And Kargas able to knock it away. Here's Kargas trying to go to the net. It's snuck away from him there. And then they ring it around and out. Battle for the puck all the way, and finally coming up with it ultimately was Jackson Dwyer. Dwyer playing it back down toward the corner. The faster pace, I think, favors Champlin Park, but Osseo has done a pretty good job of, there have been times when they've been outnumbered a little bit or whatever, but they've still done a pretty good job.
Well, they'll be okay with that game, but their defense has got to be able to move their feet and match the speed of the Champlin forwards. That's been the problem.
Here's a shot. Oh, wow. And Boynton just got a piece of that. And then that one deflected. Pad save. Another stop for Boynton. Orioles getting some rubber on the net here in the last couple shifts. And now a rush back the other way here for Champlin Park as Walters will throw it in. Chop free behind the net by Anderson. And then he goes down in a heap as they get all tangled up. And brought back in offside as Anderson behind the net tied up with Hill. Anderson wondering why there wasn't a penalty. Watch this great stop There's one. And then I think at some point there was another pretty good opportunity there too. Yeah, that one deflecting, and then third one didn't have much on it, but it was still dangerous.
Well, he had to come across. Boynton had to come across to make that last save. So I'd say 3 good ones right there. We were talking about him not getting a lot of, puck time. All of a sudden he got a few here.
And the Orioles winning the shot battle in this third period, so now it's evened up at 27 apiece for the game. And more importantly, on the scoreboard, Osseo is continuing to hold a 3-2 lead. Has the feel to me, though, that this one's not going to end 3-2. We'll probably see another goal or two possibly, but you never know. Both goaltenders have actually played pretty well tonight.
Well, they really have.
Roberts turns, fires, and scores. Well, it didn't take long for him to prove me right that the scoring wasn't over yet. Roberts getting his second goal in a row in the game. One late in the second, and now here in the third, and we're at 3-3.
Well, Roberts here has just had a lot of effort and energy here in the third period. Just rips one past him to us. It's a screen shot. I'm not even sure they saw it with the D standing in front there. But this is like the second shift that he's really, or third shift, he's come out and really put some energy and created some opportunities for himself. He had a good shot, and he gets the Rebels tied up here at 3-3.
Yeah, he's got a good wrist shot, as we saw in the power play goal. He scored in the second. This one wasn't quite as much of a rocket, but it was well placed. Amsler getting the assist, I believe is what they said on the goal for Roberts. Second of the night, 9th of the year. 3-3 hockey game here, 8:25 to go. Here come the Orioles, but that one fanned on by Compton. Ellingson getting the pass ahead, and here come the Rebels right up the gut. Schuster, and then try to go right side. Schuster will get to it first, though, leaves it for Kargas. Now Schuster again. Back out to the point. Here's a shot that whistles wide.
Well, this point in the game now, as we talk to the Osseo coaches, that, all right, you let the one in, that's a tie. Now work on just not letting him put another one in or another one. One shift at a time.
And that puck bounces up and out of play here, so we get a whistle. And Osseo probably glad to see the Swanstrom, Kargas, and Schuster line heading right back to the bench.
Yeah. Coach Johnson been making some, talking to his player about making some adjustments when he's down in the slot.
Flip back out to center and then driven back into the Osseo zone by Big Max Shellum, the 6'5" defenseman. Trickles back out again, Shellum controlling. Looking for Caden Walters, and that one is caught up in some skates as that's Sullivan trying to control it. It comes back to Sullivan now. Orioles able to carry it on out. And sent right back out, and it's not going to be an icing call as they rule that Fishbach could have reached that puck. Kleinasche stops it for Fishbach. Fishbach working his way into the Champlin Park zone, shooting it but wide of the mark. Ellingson back to get it here for the Rebels. And now they do get it on out. Ellingson will lead the rush. Ellingson fires, and a blocker saved by Kleinasche on a hard wrist shot right there.
I says he's got to step up and get to that puck before he can get to it.
And Kleinasche will glove this one off the Jacob High shot. Wow, Ellingson's a dangerous defenseman jumping into the offensive part of the game. And here's a look at that second one. A little deflection there, but that first one was a tough one on the blocker save.
Yes, it was.
Osseo comes up with it off the draw, bank pass ahead, but Ellingson takes it away. Nice puck movement there for the Rebels, but then they lose it. Roberts coming off the wall with it, plays it back to the point and then down deep again. Pulled on out of there by Ockery for Osseo, but then they misfire on the pass. No icing though. High back together at for Champlin Park. Under 6 minutes to play now. A tie hockey game at 3-3. Flicked high in the air, and coming up with it is Ellingson. Avoids the check. Roberts tried to get it back to Ellingson, but it hit the skate of Brash. That was nearly a golden opportunity for the Rebels there.
The head coach had a little flutter going on in his heart on that one, coming across. Just a little more bounce now on Champlin skates. They seem to be just rocking and rolling, using their transition game to get some good opportunities.
Been interesting how the game has gone. There's definitely been some ebbs and flows momentum-wise where one team didn't do much for a while and then all of a sudden they take over. And right now Champlin Park is definitely skating and outplaying Osseo these last 5 minutes or so. Pass across, got away. Brenny chases it down here for the Rebels. Swanstrom trying to get a rush started here for Champlin Park. Takes the return pass, but a nice poke check made there by Musial, and now here come the Orioles. Ooh, and a nice stop, big rebound, and then a block. Kargas able to block the shot, and here he comes back the other way. Defenseman lost his footing a little bit. Here's the save, Kleinachet, and they're actually fortunate that that rebound popped up in the air.
Yes.
Here's Swanstrom working from behind the net. He'll come to the point. Long one, ooh, and Kleinachet has it. It wound up in the net, but the whistle had sounded. He wasn't too sure where the puck was. He was looking down, and it was appeared to be in his body briefly. It ended up ultimately in the net, but after the whistle had sounded, oh boy.
You had no clue where that puck was.
But at the same time, it was clear the whistle had blown.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most horrifying feeling in the world. I think I got it. Oh no.
So Osseo had a 3-1 lead. Rebels have gotten the last two, both from Roberts, and now at 3-3, Champlin Park has been putting the pressure on, trying to get the go-ahead goal here. Walters pass, Ellingson putting it into the slot and thrown out front. Knocked to the corner here. Rebels get it back. Walters a shot and a rebound try, and again Kleinachet wasn't sure where it was, and now he will pounce on this one. They've done everything but score here these last couple shifts.
Well, they've been really good around the net and going after it. Osseo has been very poor about getting guys clear. Look at Sullivan. Sullivan just standing there. Nobody's getting on him whatsoever. Guy that big with that kind of reach, man, you got to push him out of there.
Off the draw, Rebels trying to get it set up again here. On shot deflection, and there's a goal. Rebels are back in front, and guess who?
Yeah.
Roberts, his third straight natural hat trick here. And Champlin Park leads it 4-3. And here come the hats out of the grandstand. See that tip made it a tough one, and then Roberts was all alone to tuck it away.
How do you let a guy that just scored the last two goals all by himself right out in front of the net? There is nobody near him. He stands there and backhands, puts in that lead goal. Boy, he's had a tremendous second and third period, Jay. He has just played really well. Aggressive, going after it, never quit. You have to have 6-7 shots.
So a 4-3 Champlin Park lead, and you kind of had the feeling, I mean, Osseo was just fending them off, and they had a couple of near misses right before that, and this time they get the goal.
Well, we talked about this too. This is kind of where their season's gone. Instead of 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom, quick, it's been 1, 2, 3. Giving it up over a period of time, but it's got to be disheartening. We were talking about the Osseo defense, and you got to step up and help your goalie. And Kleinershay's had a hell of a game. I'm sorry, a heck of a game, but oh my gosh, he's played very, very well.
Yeah, and even that last one, the deflection, maybe was a tough one.
Yeah.
And we've got a penalty call coming up, is it, or is it? No, it's not a penalty offside. Sorry about that. Now we'll see if Osseo can flip the script here. They're the team trailing now. They're not protecting a lead. Can they turn it up? Can they generate chances? Sometimes what's on the scoreboard has more of a psychological effect maybe than what people realize is, now you start to say, well, okay, we're no longer protecting a lead. Maybe they get more aggressive in Champlin Park. Meanwhile, they're going to say, let's just keep on doing what we're doing. We're buzzing. We're playing well. We're moving the puck. Roberts. And ultimately the Orioles get it out, but can't generate anything with it. And it comes right back to Roberts now. He's not satisfied with those 3 goals. Now a penalty coming up. And it's going to be against, I think it might be against Roberts. It'll be a high sticking call.
Really?
Well, at least I hope for Kleinershay's sake it was, because he was leaving the net. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So a high stick on Roberts, who's pleading his case right now, and that'll give Osseo a little bit of an opportunity here with 2:31 to go in the game, and they're down 4-3.
And they're going to call a timeout right now, the Osseo coaches. So, yeah, good time now. Give your kids a little rest. Let them settle down. Think about this power play and plan how they're going to handle this. Nice break for the Orioles here. Just looking at numbers, we were talking a little bit about power play and penalty kill. Check this penalty kill rate out for Champlin Park. Coming into the game, 94%. So it got hit on a little bit tonight already with Osseo's power play goal, but they're looking right now, just play it good, play discipline, keep a tight box, protect your goalie as much as you can, block whatever you can, and keep your sticks out in the passing zone, so keep everything out the perimeter. Osseo, I think you got to punch a little bit more into the middle. They've worked it down low and bring that board side wing in with the puck, looking at either a man on the top of the triangle or the back door to see which one's open. And, I got to give credit to Boynton too. He hasn't been easy to score on tonight either.
Well, the first time these teams played, it was 4-2 Champlin Park, and right now they're holding a 4-3 lead. But Osseo with a power play with 2:31 to go in the hockey game. And the Rebels win an all-important draw. Osseo's been pretty good on faceoffs, but not that time. And Rebels able to clear. Orioles play it in. Boynton out to stop it there, and then he ranges out of his net a bit here. A little dangerous, but it will get it up and out. The race is on. Kargas got there, but a nice job to catch him by Meyer. Then Kargas trying to hack it out front. Swanstrom up with it. Swanstrom takes a hit there to put the puck deep in the corner, and now the Orioles try and get things set up. Under 2 minutes to play here in the hockey game. Battle for it along the wall here as the Orioles trying to get it out of there and spread out. And now they do come away with it. Here's a shot, another penalty? No, it's going to be just pulling the goaltender here of Osseo, so they now go 6-on-4. That one tipped on the way out. A race for the puck.
Oh, nice effort by number 9 at Champlin Park there.
Here comes Meyer into the zone. So an empty net for Osseo here as we tick down toward a minute, and they've got the power play, so 6 on 4. Here's the shot, and that one goes just wide. Under a minute to play now. Keep in mind, Champlin Park can shoot at that open net without being called for icing, because that's the one benefit to being shorthanded here. Here's a shot, and a nice shot blocked there by Amsler. And it bounces free the other way. Orioles able to keep it in. 35 seconds to go. That one deflecting into the corner. Ellingson trying to get it out. Couldn't quite do it. Penalty time is now over. And there's a stick lift there. Roberts catching up.
Coming right out of the box and going after the puck area and just lifting the stick quickly. Going to get a shot. Great play by Roberts. He's been by far the best player on the ice tonight for both teams.
Under 10 seconds to play, and it's played by a high stick. So Osseo gonna have just one more opportunity to try and hurry up and get something going. 7.3 seconds left. They trail 4-3. Entertaining hockey game here tonight, Dan, right?
Yeah.
This has been a good one.
Well, you and I kind of had an inkling. You know, we kind of did some work on seeing which directions these teams are going in, who they've been playing.
Obviously, the face-off is enormous right here. Orioles get it and got a shot. I don't think it made it all the way through to Boynton, though. Couple seconds to go, and the period will come to an end, and some extracurriculars at the whistle there. Referees do a pretty good job jumping in and separating guys and making sure nobody else comes in to join in the fray there. Well, Champlin Park had a lead, and Osseo went ahead 3-1, but the Rebels get the last 3 goals of the night, all of them by junior Derek Roberts, and they get their second win of the season over Osseo, and fans got their money's worth for sure in this one, Dan.
Oh yeah, it was a good game. I mean, ebb and flow, back and forth. Saw some tremendous goaltending tonight. Saw good scoring plays. Roberts putting on a real display of hard work hockey tonight. He just was dominating when he turned up the energy and getting those goals to pull his team to victory here. Well played, young man, and it was fun watching you. And I think Osseo may have found themselves a goalie. Clonachet played very, very well. And as they go through the rest of the season now to see what happens. Champlin got a good win here. Maybe get a shot to move themselves up in the standings.
Osseo hosts Totino Grace next Thursday, and then they're at Spring Lake Park next Saturday, the 27th. And for Champlin Park, they will be over at Brooklyn Park Arena to take on Totino Grace on Saturday. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from the Ice Forum in Champlin. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Once again, your final score, Champlin Park 4 and Osseo 3.